Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Okay, good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad here this morning. I want to thank Billy Grantham taking the show yesterday, doing a great job. It's not, that was a good joke. Hope y'all picked all that up. But it's really enjoyable having him on, and I appreciate him coming all the way down here from Jackson County. Our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard and hard-working crew up there in Southport keeping us cool in this hot weather. But it's not going to get out at 88 yesterday, 88 today, at 78 is the low. And what's interesting though, I've been double-checked it, water temperature. It is the same as the air temperature. It's 88 degrees in the water. It's going to be a high of 88 today. That's unusual. You don't see a lot of that, but this is the highest water temperature we've had all year. At the end of the period, 88 degrees. Take a look at your river readings brought to us by Mountain Dew. Looking at the Apalachicola, Bluntstown, we're looking, it's got up a little bit now. It's, we've had some rain up in that area, so it got up a little bit, dropping out, and both rivers have put on some water level, and I appreciate that. We really needed some water. It's 3.5 in Apalachicola and 4.5 in Choctahatchee, up about a foot from last week, so that looks good. But now both rivers are dropping out for the weekend. All right, tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We're looking at neat tide today, not much movement at all, not a lot going on. The wind now will be coming out of the west at about 11, so that's pretty good for a summer breeze right there at 11 coming out of the west. All right, let's take a break, come back with our special guest. Welcome back, folks, and welcome to our guest this morning, Tom Martin. Tom's been on the show before, and we're talking about people who love fishing. You have them in different categories. Tom is up here as far as loving fishing. He goes, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
How much fishing do you actually do?
Well, a couple times a week.
A couple times a week now. And we were talking about what he's on for. We're going to get to it in just a minute. We're putting together a trip. I know it's late notice, but we're putting together a trip for Saturday. Tom's the one who puts these trips together a lot of times, and he's good at it. He fished with all these different people. And yesterday you were on to Captain Anderson.
Right, I was on Anderson 10 yesterday.
And you had a fellow on board that watches the show. We're going to show his picture. Tell us about this fellow here.
His name is Robert Griffith. He's lost a leg and he's in a wheelchair.
He's still fishing, look at that.
He loves to fish. He never stopped fishing the whole trip. And he's interested in going Saturday. He had his grandson with him. Awesome. And he was talking about Winston a lot, Winston helping him in the revival. And so I told him we'd talk about him today.
That's great. We appreciate it. I appreciate you watching, Robert. And this was the Anderson yesterday.
At the end of the day, right?
At the end of the day, and that what hour? How long was that?
10-hour trip.
That was a 10-hour trip.
10-hour trip.
Now what we put in together, I say Tom's doing all the work. We've talked about this before. And I really got interested in this when I had Captain Roberto Raffield on the show back at Studio B, and he was talking about, he was raised in Apalachicola. He was one of Raffield's, scattered all over the place, but his clan was in Apalachicola. He learned to fish, as a kid growing up there.
Yes.
Well, his dream was to always go back home with his boat. And actually, he realized that dream recently. He's got his boat back down in Apalachicola. And I told him then, I said, next summer, which is this summer right now, this coming summer, well, I'm going to go fishing. Some of us are going fishing with you. And we've tried to put together some dates. There've been all kind of conflicts this summer, Tom.
Yes, sir.
All kind of. But you finally, I know it's late notice, and we may put together another one later on, but this one for sure, we're going on this one for sure. Tell us about it.
Well, it started last year, and we fished with him several times at night, and we were half-hour fishing. We limited out, but we had one heck of a trip, and that was out of St. Andrews. Mm-hmm. But now he's moved to Appalachia, and they've been really, really doing good catching fish. So we've got a 10-hour trip lined up for Saturday, and like Winston said, it's short notice, but his schedule, my schedule, we're trying to get it. We got it one day coordinated. The cost on a trip is $225. That's for 10 hours out there. You can bring your own cooler, sandwiches, whatever you want. But I mean, I know it's a short notice on it, but it's
But
Fishing experience you won't forget.
you know, time I was thinking driving in this morning. I know it's a short notice, but how many times as outdoorsmen have we just dropped what we're doing and just go? and as outdoorsmen, you know exactly what I'm talking about, hunting or fishing. We've done it before, and we'll do it again. So we're going to, it's a 10-hour trip, and we're inviting, it's going to fill up, I'm afraid. They also take walk-in. There'll be some other folks come in and walk up. And I promise, I knew this was going to happen. Those Georgia folks, they start finding out about it. My buddy's going to be coming on in, and so some of them will be there.
The thing with Appalachia, you don't have all the boat driving time that you do in Panama City, and it's not fished as much as Panama City. So I mean, it's a great place to fish, and like I said, there's a big snapper and grouper out there just waiting for you.
Well, that's the thing about it, and it won't always be that way. But right now, we're sort of like we're discovering the West. When you're going out there, some of the first people to get there as charter people. I know a lot of our boats here go that way, but it's a long ride. But right now, we just run down right to it.
Well, anyway, this trip starts at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, July 9th. Now that's Eastern time, so that's 6 o'clock our time, and it's at the address on it is 301 Market Avenue in Appalachia, which is easy to find when you get there. But like he said, we know it's short notice, but the days came up, the boat was available, Winston was off, and I was off. So we got it all together. I mean, it's well worth it for a 10-hour trip.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Plus you'll have a chance to be on TV.
We're definitely going to do some good video, and we're going to talk about, interview everybody and all. It's going to be a grand time. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We're going to give you that phone number and some more information on it. So we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Today we're Tom Martin, and we putting together a fishing trip. Man, that's always, just putting one together is always exciting, but then actually following through with it is just icing on the cake. So we're putting together this trip. Here, we got the information up here on the screen. Tom wrote it out for us, so take a look. Let's talk about it from top to bottom. It's going to be this Saturday. It's 7 a.m. Eastern time, okay? It's a family tradition fishing. All right, let's go through it. 301 Market Street, so address right there. So now, it's $225, and folks, with the gas prices now, that is a bargain, I can promise you. Now here, this is, Tom, tell us about this number right here.
That number right there is for the family tradition in Appalachia. If you want to go on the trip, your best bet is to call them and give them your credit card information so you're booked on it.
You go ahead and book it in advance, right. And maybe call Tom so we can get a list of the Panhandle Outdoors viewers going. Okay, that's Tom's number there, 850-774-0231.
Correct.
Okay, and I'll show you, let me see, I got the boat here, right here. Here's the boat we'll be on. This is a nice boat, air conditioned, fish a while, cool off a while, fish a while, bring plenty of water and Gatorade and stuff like that. Now, do they serve food or we need to bring our own food?
Bring your own food.
Okay, bring your own food, I like that. That's the way most charters will go on. You bring your own food, and a lot of times we just start sharing. Oh, that tastes good. Let me have some of that. Here, try this. So it'll be fun. All right.
You know what we might do is if my number's up there, if we got a bunch of viewers that want to go, they can call me. Maybe we can coordinate a carpool.
Yes, we need to do that. We might could meet somewhere on the east side of town, maybe. And we need to do that. We need a carpool. We don't need to take 10 different vehicles down there. We definitely need a carpool.
And this boat furnishes your rods, reels, bait, everything. All you got to do is bring the fish into the boat.
Yeah. How many will it fish? You know,
20, 25, I think, something
20,
like that.
25. It's not. There's plenty of room. We fished it before, and we went all night or night trip.
Yeah.
Last year.
This captain is so great. We went out last year on that 2 o'clock trip from St. Andrews. And it's supposed to come back like at 10 o'clock. But we'd already caught, we were just having fun catching fish and releasing them. I don't think we kept the snapper under 10 pounds.
No, we didn't.
And it was just fun. We stayed out there for a couple hours after that. He likes being out there in the water, and it's a good fishing trip. It's well worth like I said, if you want to catch some nice fish, sign up. It's short notice, but go.
Well, that's exactly right. Now, you fished all summer. How's your fishing been?
The grouper fishing has been a lot better than it has been in a long time. the snapper, they're easy. They're a big snapper out there.
I've seen some of the best pictures of snapper I've ever seen as far as.
A lot of big snapper. They caught 3 or 4 snapper on the boat yesterday, but like I said, we weren't out very far.
What do they use? I mean, they still use the squid, live bait, or
on the head boats they use squid, but I think Raphael, he uses some northern mackerel and cigar minnows in that.
Let's go and look at Google Earth while I was talking. I was setting it up. I just want to sort of show you what we're talking about. Okay, here, just look at Apalachicola. All right, so we'll go straight out. Now, what a lot of folks do coming out of Panama City, the old captains and all, what they would do, they would come south and then they head this way, all the way down to here. In fact, with Bobo on those 24-hour trips and 2-day trips, right here in the center of the screen, we'd fish this area right here. Well, look right here. Here's Apalachicola. Look how close we are to Apalachicola there, and then you just go straight out. And the fishing is spectacular right in that area. So that's why I wanted to always wanted to go out of that area on a head boat. We fish it with private boats, but it's a little rough.
Well, Lavelle Raphael is a great captain, and he really does his best to get you on fish. Mm-hmm. And it's like I said, when he said last year he was going to go to Appalachia this year, and then you mentioned it, it's something we wanted to do.
Yep.
And it's it's short notice, but still, it's all you got to do is jump in your vehicle. Everything's furnished for you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get with them Saturday too and talk to them, and we'll try to set up another date before the season ends. We'll try to look at our calendars and dates and all. And we picked Saturday because I know some of y'all are working through the week, but next time it might be during the week or something. We'll just see what we can do. But it's just a great opportunity, and I'd love to have y'all come along. All right, what else you got there? You got,
like I said,
you've got you've been busy this summer though, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a lot of fishing in that end, some traveling. We do a lot of cruises.
Yeah.
We just come back from a cruise last week.
We got all kinds of things coming up. Another thing, I want to go ahead and mention this along the time. We got coming up the Mexico Beach Artificial Reef Association, their Kingfish tournament. Now that's coming up July 30th. That'll be soon. Go ahead and put it on your calendar, and I'll have those guys, Miss Coleman, and those guys will be coming in next week and talking about that. So this summertime fishing is just extremely busy. Okay. I do want to mention one trip, and I know you've been on this trip before. Captain Billy Archer, we're talking about old families and all.
Seminole
Billy Archer,
Wind.
You've been with him a lot.
On Seminole Wind, yes sir.
He's amazing. He sent this out. Billy right here. He had a very pleasant surprise yesterday morning. The Anderson family went fishing with Billy Archer. Jerry Anderson. It goes on to talk about Jerry's father, Captain Virgil, who I've featured in my book. And anyway, Jerry's daughter, Lisa, who's an attorney here in town, her husband, Joel Schubert, they put the trip together. So anyway, let me show you the picture. This meant a lot to me. On the far left is Jerry Anderson, and there's Lisa there in the middle, and the whole family, mostly Andersons that are married into the family. And here's what they call it. That ain't a bad trip, is it? Right there. So when I saw that, I just thought how cool it is. We're going fishing this weekend with the Raphael family. Here's Billy Archer, who's third generation. He's taking the Anderson family fishing this a couple days ago, and all that. All us new people, fishing here, because our family wasn't fishing here 4 generations ago. But we're all blending in together, and still that tradition, heritage going on. Love to see like Jerry Anderson. They still love that fishing, and they don't have the big boats now, but they literally hook up with Billy Archer and all.
Yeah, Jerry used to have the Gemini Queen for a while.
They had the Anderson family. Of course, you know the story how they started everything and all. But they actually when they went out to they were in St. Andrew, and they actually went out to Grand Lagoon where they are now, but they had to do some dredging. And to get the boats in and out the mouth of Grand Lagoon. You couldn't do that now. They had to sort of fill in, not fill in, just sort of had to make room to get it there.
Yeah.
But look at the benefit from it all these years. They've kept that mouth open right there, and they've got Deepwater Point, one of the best fishing areas coming in there and coming out to the jetties. And like I say, the old pass used to be the only pass out, and then in 1932, where the jetties are now, they cut that. So all those modifications they've done to nature, you couldn't do that now. You couldn't.
Yeah. My first trip, I come down from Alaska in '72, and my first trip was with one of the Florida Queen out of St. Andrews.
No kidding.
That's when they ran the 2 o'clock and the morning trips to 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
The next day, so that was a long trip.
And, wow, do you remember who the captain was?
No, I don't remember who the captain was. It was like I said, it was 1972.
Yeah, that's cool. That was a little while back.
Yeah, a lot of people don't remember them being in St. Andrews on it, but they changed it. Just like I said, it's so nice down there in Anderson Marina now. Mm-hmm. I saw Ken yesterday, and his brother's helping them out now.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we're going to take a final break and come right back. All right, welcome back. So here with Tom Martin. We're putting together a fishing trip, and we'll mention it one more time before we close out. But let's look at the fishing game time today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. We're looking at 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. this morning and this evening, 6:23 to 8:23. Let me show you a picture. One of my, we're talking about cousins. This is my cousin over here. She's down at East Point, Pam Newton Lock. They sent it to me. They're camping down there now. That's off the campground at East Point. Look at her working hard on that. Big old black drum in East Point. Caught them for 20 minutes. Good job, Pam Newton Lock up there from Chattahoochee, but they have a nice campsite down there off the, there she is, off the wall there in East Point. I've told you all about fishing in East Point, what a great area it is to fish. Okay, now, we want to make sure any other questions about it that won't be answered, you can call him. You want answered, touch base with me if you can. But Tom is putting it together, and I appreciate Tom putting it together. And we're gonna, I guarantee you, we're gonna have fun, and we're gonna catch some big fish.
Yes, sir.
It's not often that you can go on a fishing trip and say we're gonna catch some fish, because sometimes we go and don't catch many, but we're gonna catch some fish.
Like I said, the captain and the crew on that boat are so good, so helpful. A little girl that works on the deck, and she's like a little rabbit, just run and everything. But it's like I said, my number's on there. If you're, give me a call. We'll try to get a carpool up, and we can go from there at short notice. But
one more time on the number. Okay, be Eastern time, 10-hour trip, and there's the address right there. And go ahead and call and give them your credit card number, middle number 819-0572. Tell them you want to go on a Panhandle Outdoors trip Saturday, and they'll know what he's talking about. And there's Tom's number right there. Okay? All right. Now, we're talking about, you were in Alaska in some really great, in the 60s and 70s. So tell us a quick Alaska story. We got so many of them. I love hearing this story. Like
great place to fish out was Whittier. And then there wasn't a road into it. You had to take your boat, your car, and that drive onto a railroad flatbed, and it would take you through the tunnel, and they'd let you off in Whittier. Now I hear it's a big cruise. It's changed, but we used to take the boat out, go up in the streams, and the salmon, after they lay their eggs, they die. And we'd just pick them up. And then we'd go, we had a real long 6-7 foot line, and we'd put the salmon on it. The next morning, we'd be sitting there, somebody have the winch. They'd be turning a winch, and we'd stand in the water with a firearm, it would be the 357, and we shoot these halibut, like 100, 125 pound halibut. And they're real strong with their tail, but it was great fishing for them, and that's the best eating fish you can ever have is halibut.
And that was, there were a bunch of them up there.
It used to be real thick with them. And Whittier was beautiful. I mean, you see the bears walking around. And
you ever have much bear encounters?
I've got a black bear, 2 black bear, a grizzly, and a brown bear. Like I said, you have a lot of time. It's lovely just sitting there watching the bears come down, picking the salmon out of the water.
Yeah.
And eating it.
I know that's on a lot of people's bucket list and all, but it's not the same as it was back then.
No,
still,
it's changed. It's changed a lot.
It's changed a lot. Like here in Panhandle, we've changed a lot too. We've just been wall-to-wall people, looks like, every time we turn around, especially here in July. Everybody's vacationing down here.
It's amazing. Yesterday on the boat, we looked across over Treasure Island, and I guess they're building a new storage thing. But golly, it's huge. So I guess they must, with the price of gas, I thought the boats would go down, but this thing here, right here, it looks like it's a huge building. They're going to store the boats in.
Yeah, it really is. You just got to be extremely careful on weekends and on July 4th and holidays and all with all the boats and all. We'll talk about it.
Yep.
And so we got this trip. We're going to try to get it. Now, snapper season closes out. Was it 28th or something? I forget.
I'm not sure.
Between now and then, we'll try to get another trip together if we can. We can't promise it, but we'll sure try to get another one together. But that's really the best way to go offshore now. Instead of taking on boats.
It's not fish like it is here, and there's a lot of big fish out there.
Yeah. I remember last summer on that late trip, that midnight trip. I was talking on the way back in. Earl and I was talking, and I said, I sure want to try to. I'm going to go with you. I promise. And I sure like to get some of our viewers the opportunity to go with you, because you're talking about the Raffield family's been here since the.
Well, that trip we took that day, you had about 10 people from the show on it.
We put that show together, and we had some good fishermen.
We had some good days.
Yeah,
the man from Callaway,
Randy Wahlberg.
The fella that caught that big fish at the very end, he said he watches your show every day. And
yeah, so
get a chance to meet a bunch of people, have a good time. And it's like
we'll try to pull together. I tell you what might be a good place for us to meet right there in Callaway, in Parker, at Earl Gilbert Park, at the boat ramp there. Park up from, that might be a good place to carpool from.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, it'll be right there by the Tyndall Bridge. Well, okay,
we'll work out a time. Yeah. Call me, and
we'll let you know more tomorrow, and then you can call us and all. And if you got any Panhandle Outdoors shirts or clothes and all, wear your Panhandle Outdoors stuff, or call Travis, run by his house and get some between now and then. Tom, appreciate you coming on, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We appreciate you putting this together and staying on top of it.
Yeah, it's going to be a good trip. Call me.
It takes people like this that have this passion for fishing and then want to get people together, because he knows and I know and you know we'll all have a good time and catch some good fish. We're going to wrap it up for today. Tomorrow now we'll be giving some seafood away and all kind of good stuff. I've got all kind of great pictures I've collected during the week that y'all sent us. So stay tuned, all right? You have a great day today. Do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.